Hey y'all, it's your girl Maria, the spiritual homegirl, and my best friend in the background. And we're about to make some turmeric tea. Now, for those who don't know, turmeric tea is it's really popular nowadays. It's also been used in terms of like Ayurvedic cures, but it's a lot about turmeric. You should look it up. But for people that are wanting something that's detoxing, especially women, this helps with my cramps, during that time of the month. It's also believed to lower blood sugar as well as balance hormones. So this is just a good drink to have. And plus it was raining today, so this is always something nice and warm and a little sweet. So let's get started. So again, I try my best with recipes, but this is about a cup and a half of coconut milk beverage. Again, for those who don't know, I'm a person that likes coconut milk and just coconut milk. But since it's hard to find without preservatives, just make sure that your coconut milk has the least amount of ingredients as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this on low heat. If you have to, go a tiny bit over low to where it's in between low and medium. The point is not to have this boil. It's supposed to cook at a low temperature. So at this point, I put in about a teaspoon, a little over a teaspoon of turmeric, ground turmeric, as well as about a half teaspoon of ginger. I like my heavy ginger, or I would usually chop up a maybe a inch to a 1/4 inch piece of ginger, and I would grate it if I had fresh and put it in here, but since I don't, I went ahead and just used ground ginger instead. And then I put a splash, tiny splash of ground black pepper, and I am currently letting this sit for a little bit. I'm gonna probably let it heat up. Again, it's not to boil, it's just to cook really slowly on low heat, and once that is done, then we will add our sweetener. So be careful with the turmeric. I know a lot of people may want the benefits of what turmeric has to offer, but if you put too much powder in your tea, it's gonna taste really grainy, and you'll definitely be able to taste it in your mouth. So just keep that in mind. But we got a teaspoon of coconut oil, and we're gonna put that in here as well. I know in some traditional golden milk or turmeric milk recipes, they do put ghee, which is like clarified butter, at the very end, but clearly butter is not plant-based, so we're just going to put in a teaspoon of coconut oil instead. Also, I have a fork. I have a whisk, but a lot of people don't have whisks for drinks like that in their home because nobody, like who has a tiny wooden whisk or bamboo whisk strictly for tea? A lot of people don't. So I'm using this fork to show you guys that it can be done with practical tools in your own kitchen. This is the finished product with our turmeric tea. I've been stirring this around, which is a cinnamon stick. I normally like to pop it right in and let it sit for a couple of minutes and drink. So quick and easy, simple turmeric golden milk recipe.